This is Jason the PCMD. You can always find me at JasonthePCMD.blogspot.com. Today we're going to go through how to run diagnostics on a Dell laptop. So here we have a Dell Latitude E6400 laptop. This procedure will work on pretty much all Dells made in the last 5 or 6 years. First thing you do is you have to hold down the function key here while it's off, and then press the power button. So we've got function key and power button. You'll see in the corner it says Diagnostic Boot Selected, and it will run through the tests. Some of the older Dell laptops you actually have to hold down the mute key when you turn it on, and that will also do it. Just a second here. So it'll take a little bit longer than normal right at the very beginning in order to do the tests here. But that's fine. And this is just right now doing just some basic tests. Now it's actually going to go into the diagnostic routine in just a moment. Also, you'll notice while it's doing this, these lights are flashing and doing different things. If the computer's not starting up, like where you're not seeing anything on the screen when you turn it on, these lights here will tell you what's going on. So like right now it's flashing the middle one, which I think that's the memory test that it's running. Okay, now it's running the actual diagnostics, and it may be hard to see here on video, but it's testing the different components of the motherboard. And the main thing you're interested in on the laptop is the hard drive, because that's the most common thing that fails. And you can see here's the DST short test, which is the hard drive running. It's also doing an optical drive test. And this is something, anytime your computer's running, seems like it's running slow or it's locking up a lot, this is what you want to do. So this is the function key right here, the one that says FN that's slightly purple. Now you will be prompted, it puts colored stripes across the screen, and you have to say yes there, otherwise it'll fail that test. So now it's testing the memory. And if you have multiple processors in the system, or if it's a dual core or quad core system, you'll see 2 bars running there for dual core, or 4 bars for a quad core system. That's how many CPUs it has. Most computers now have 2 or 4 in them. Also, if your computer has a lighted keyboard, this one does not, it will test and see if the lights work. You'll see some of these things say not applicable. You get the video test there, graphics test. This just runs different patterns through the memory in the system. Dell added the ability to run these type of diagnostics almost 10 years ago, maybe slightly less. I know I had a Dell laptop that I had bought myself that one of the BIOS updates on the laptop added the ability to run onboard diagnostics, and that was about 10 years ago or so. Diagnostic routines have changed a little bit over the time, but most of the modern laptops use this screen here. Now, in the event that you don't have, it passes and you still think that there's something wrong, it will let you do an extended memory test. That will take another half hour or so to run. But there's also some diagnostics that you can run. If you have a Dell laptop, you look in the original box and you'll see some disks in there that say drivers and utilities already installed on your computer. This program, this disk here, I believe you can put it in the laptop inside the CD-ROM drive, and it'll run you have to hit F12 when you first turn it on. Actually, it says right here, you can't really read it, but it says Device Drivers, Diagnostics, and Utilities. You put that in, you hit F12, you select CD-ROM or DVD or optical drive, and it will actually boot up and run some different tests on the system. Now, some of the Dells, if they have the factory image on them, after it runs this test, it will prompt to go to the next step, and it'll load these. This software is actually already installed on some of the systems, and you don't need to run off the disk. But this will test. This disk here will test a lot more than just this one here. This is just basic startup things: memory, RAM, and processor. The CD will test things like the sound card, the clock chip, and pretty much anything. Everything in the system can get tested, except I don't think the wireless card or the Ethernet card is tested. So, yes, it's very mesmerizing watching this thing go up and down like that. But I want to go through all the way to the end, because at least we'll know for sure if this computer has a bad hard drive or not. I don't think it does, but it was just a computer I had here that I could do this from, testing on it. Now, if the hard drive is bad, you probably, if it's under warranty, you'll contact the manufacturer of the computer. This is a Dell, so you call Dell to get it done if it's under warranty. If the computer's less than a year old, then yes, it's definitely under warranty. If it's a Latitude like this one is, these typically have 3 to 4 year warranties on them, so that would probably be covered. If the drive's bad and you need to get the data off of it, you would have to use some kind of, you'd either take the drive out and put it in a USB hard drive caddy, or you could boot off of some kind of boot disk. You could even use a Windows 7 or Windows Vista boot DVD, and you can open up the command prompt and you can copy the files to a USB key if you had enough room on the USB key. So if something fails on here, it will play a little tune, and then it'll make several beep sounds in a pattern, and you count the beeps, and that will give you the code, such as a bad hard drive is 142. If you've tested the hard drive once and it's failed, and so you ran the test a second time, it'll probably give you a 146 code, which means that the hard drive failed previous diagnostics. And look at that, we have a bad hard drive, and just like I said, that's a 142 code, and you'll hear the flashing lights here. 3, 4, 2. So that's 142. And we'll count them again here, as you can see. That's 1. That's 4. 142. So now that we know the drive is bad, and actually I didn't even think the drive was bad, we are going to not continue testing because everything's good. Now it says, do you want to run the extended test for the next 30 minutes? And the answer is no. So now we are going to get the data and move the data to a new drive, and I will put that in another video. Alright, again, this is JasonthePCMD. You can find my videos in my blog at jasonthepcmd.blogspot.com. Thanks again. Bye.